With over a month of basketball in the books, we're seeing teams overachieve and underachieve. Now, there's some wins that are doing great for someone's resume, others that are pretty much putting the teams out of the top 25. Case in point, Villanova and Florida. They were top 10 teams at the beginning of the year. Now they're falling behind, lagging. But there's other teams like Ohio State that are getting the need wins to go further in the tournament. These are the top 10 teams that I think are going to win the tournament. It was especially hard for like the number 10 spot. I mean, you got teams like Memphis, Oregon, Seton Hall, Virginia, and Gonzaga that I think that could contend for the number 10 spot. But some teams are either losing a great player or they have a great player and that's all. Like Memphis, they lost James Wiseman because of an NCAA violation. They're going to see him gone for half the season, which right now that could be difference between a high seed versus low seed, and I think that if they were a high seed, they have a greater chance of getting into the Sweet 16. But right now, I feel like they're going to have some trouble there. As well with Oregon and Seton Hall, they have two great players, All-American candidates if it goes well. I think Seton Hall has a great player in Miles Powell, as you can tell by the Michigan State game. And with Peyton Pritchard, I think he's an all Pac-12 team, first team player. And I think that if both teams rely on them too much, I think they can lag behind. But also, they are two great players that can shoot, they can defend, all that. And I think that's going to help them a lot. But right now, I don't think they're in the top 10 of my picks. And then Virginia and Gonzaga, they're both good teams, but Virginia's lagging behind with the too close of a games. And then Gonzaga, I think they lost too much from last year, and that's going to affect them a lot. But they're still going to probably be a top 30 win team, but I don't know. But right now is my top 10. Right now is Texas Tech. Texas Tech has one of the best assists per game, and I think that's going to help them a lot when it comes to either the Big 12. But also, I don't think they have as much of a chance when it comes to the top 9 as in my case. Number 9, I put Arizona, mainly because of their young core. You got Nico Mannion, also Josh Green, and then a little bit more of the veterans like Chase Jeter, and then also Jamal Baker. Overall, I think they have a very complete team, and that's where I see a little bit more difference between 10 and 9. I see them doing well in the Pac-12 and then also probably in the tournament because they have really great shooters, really great defenders in some cases. But overall, I think they are a number 9 team. But number 8, it's with North Carolina. I think that they're going to have some trouble when it comes to the ACC with Duke and then Louisville. And that's what I feel like is going to be the difference between them being a difference between them being in the Elite Eight versus somewhere else. But I think still North Carolina is a great team just because they have Cole Anthony. He's going to run the offense a lot of times, but I still think there's a little bit more needed for that team. At number 7, I put Maryland mainly because Maryland has a really complete team. They have really good combo in Anthony Cowan and Jalen Smith. I think that will help them a lot. I think they're a little bit more complete in the sense of like more production with the team than probably North Carolina. That's why I see them a little bit ahead, but not by much because there is a difference in coaching. But also there's a great group of guys that came in and also some experience that also came back. I think that will help them a lot. I think the guards will do great, but also the big men, the length of Maryland is outstanding. I think that will help them in Big Ten play, but also go even further when it comes to tournament time. Ohio State, I put at 6, mainly because of their 2 wins in the early season against Cincinnati and Villanova. Those were 2 great wins for their resume, and I kind of see them actually contending for the Big Ten title with Michigan State, mainly because of those 2 wins. They were great wins. I feel like they have a very complete team with the same respect to Michigan State and Maryland, but I still see a little bit more young talent that needs more experience or a little bit more in-game play kind of stuff. The top five, it's kind of where I see teams could win it all kind of thing, but still there's maybe one decision in a game that can change it. Like Louisville, I put at five mainly because I still see them as a little bit underexperienced. I think that Jordan Nwora is one of the best players. He's going to be an All-American just like Miles Powell, but I still see there's going to be some problems overall. Mainly, they're going to probably contend with the ACC title, but I still think that they are not as highly talented or highly touted as they should be. Fourth spot, I put Kansas. Kansas is a great team and all, but I don't think they're the top three yet. Once it gets to the Maui Invitation, I think once they face Michigan State, we get a better understanding of which team is where. Overall, I still think that they're a great team with the guards and the big men. I'm glad that Azubuike came back because that's a great help. He's one of the best big men in the Big 12. I think that he'll help I think they'll help Kansas go even further in the tournament because he has more experience and he pretty much is a beast in the paint. And then Dotson coming back was a great help too because they need more experience and he's a great guard. Number three, I put Kentucky mainly because I think they have a really great team on them. Now they do lack some things like the Evansville loss at home, which is a big downer for if you're a Kentucky fan. It's also a very bad win in many cases. But overall, I think they're still a great team. They have really good guards in Tyrese Maxey, Ashton Hagans, and Emmanuel Quickly. And I think that'll help them in the future. But overall, I still see them not close yet. Number two, I put Michigan State. Michigan State did lose to Kentucky, but I still see them going a little bit further because once they get players back from injuries, as well as players get used to Big Ten play and facing the top teams in the nation, because Michigan State does face Kansas, Kentucky, Duke, all of that, and I think that will help them once it comes to tournament time. I think they're going to be ready, and that's where I see them going a little bit further. And then number one, Duke. Duke does have one of the best teams. They're well-rounded. They have a very great coach and Coach K. And then I see Carey probably being one of the top players in the nation, as well as probably ACC first team. Overall, I think those teams are probably the top 10. I may be wrong, but I see them probably going the furthest, probably have the best overall teams in this case. Like I said, Virginia right now they're a top 7 team in the nation, but I think that's overrated kind of thing. I could be wrong, but if you like the video, like it, subscribe. I don't care. Bye.